Hey folks, it's Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome to the farm vlog today. We are going to install this cool camera system on my mom's RV and van. So my mom shows dogs and she has a big old camper and a big old van, and we got her a Mother's Day gift. So we're gonna install, this will work as an install video for the Haloview MC7101 camera system. Now this camera system supports up to 4 different cameras. It's a pretty cool system. We're going to go ahead and get it on our van today. If we don't get it done today, we'll get it done tomorrow. So guys, stick around. We're going to go have some fun. All right? Stoney Ridge. From Stoney Ridge. Stoney Ridge Farm. So folks, so you know, this company sent me this camera system. I'm not getting paid to do it, but they did send me the camera system. I want to show you what comes in the box. This is the receiver. This is what mounts to your dash, and we're going to be doing a pretty simple install with this. I am sacrificing one of my favorite things. It's a cigarette lighter adapter. So basically we're going to hardwire this to the cigarette lighter adapter, and then my mom will be able to plug it in, and whenever she wants to see out the back of the van and out the back of the camper, she can see, and basically she can plug and play. So this doesn't have to be in the way all the time if she's not pulling the camper. Pretty cool. This is a little camera setup, has a little mount, and there's the camera. So it's night vision, it has sound, which is something that's pretty rare with these backup camera systems. So let's get busy. So in the back of the camera is a little antenna, and it's even labeled camera. So we just screw this right onto the back of the camera and drop it. Whoops. And we'll screw this back onto the back of the camera, and hopefully it's still under warranty with that drop. And then the antenna flexes and moves about however you'd like it, and you can just aim the camera. This is the mounting hardware, and you can drill a hole through, or we can mount it the way we're going to do today, and it's going to be a little bit special. I hope we get done today. It's probably 6 o'clock in the evening. As you can see, it's golden hour. My face is gleaming. Now the camera mounts with these 2 wires. It's pretty common practice to wire these up to your reverse light. So when you put it in reverse, it automatically illuminates the camera system, and voila, when you're backing up, you've got backup camera. Now we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to hardwire this to constant power. That way, anytime my mom wants to check on what's behind the camper or what's going on between the camper and the van, we can always check it. Now that might not be legal in all states, so check with your local state to see if it's legal to have a constant camera system in the car. All right, so folks, what we did here was solder directly to a plug, a cigarette lighter adapter plug, and now we're going to put some heat shrink on these 2 solder joints and then slide a bigger piece of heat shrink over top of the entire thing, and that way it'll be good and durable. If you've never used heat shrink, it's really, really cool. Basically, you just, if the wind's not blowing and you're not roasting your finger, you just put a little heat to them and they shrink right up, right on the wires. So we'll put a little heat to them here. There we go. Don't want to put too much, and don't want to roast our fingers either. I give them a nice little pinch, and that's just basically to protect the wires from smacking into each other. And then I'll slide this piece of heat shrink right over top of these 2, just like this. Nice and gentle, and that'll cover the wire just like it needs to be, and we'll use the lighter and do it again. Now we could use a heat gun if we wanted to, but I didn't feel like breaking out all those tools. This is simple enough. Here's our finished product. Pretty cool. So now my mom can just plug this right into her cigarette lighter, and it will power this guy right up. Now alternatively, you could wire it to your fuse box, and there's several different wires that you could hardwire this thing in, but for what we're doing, the purposes we're doing, we're going to make it simple, easy, and mom friendly. Look at Mama Stoney Ridge, got her Stoney Ridge Farm hat on. What do you think about your Mother's Day present?
I like it. I can't wait till it's hooked up.
Might not get hooked up today. So the mounting system here, it has 2 different mounting systems. It has a glue type mounting system, a peel and stick basically, and you just peel and stick that to your dashboard, just like that. Or you have a metal mounting system. Now mom's a little bit indecisive about where she wants to mount this, so we're gonna leave both mounting brackets on it and she's gonna decide. But I'll tell you what you need to do in case you need to install this. You need to take that right there and find a flat spot to mount it. Or you need to take that right there and find a not so flat spot to mount it. And if you can't figure that out, you probably shouldn't have a backup camera. So we're gonna take our cigarette adapter that we made and we'll slide it in the slot, just like that. And we've got no signal, so we go to menu right here, and basically we'll go to pairing. Okay, it says pairing right there, and there's a lot of different cool features in this camera system, but it's not touchscreen, so that's kind of disappointing, but pretty simple enough to pair. You just basically scroll to the pairing thing right here, and you hit the OK button, OK, and then it pairs for 50 seconds. Now we don't have a camera set up yet, so the next step is to get a camera set up. Guys, this is where Mom wants the camera system right there, and basically in that situation it's kind of portable, so she can take it down because it's a rather large camera system. These are made for big trucks, big vans, RVs, stuff like that, tractor trailers, stuff like that. So I'll show you where we're going to mount the rear camera. We've already got it kind of mocked up. It's right up here on the top, and then we'll go back here to the back of the camper and we'll show you where that's going to go. This is a big, nice camper, guys. We'll go right up here to the very top and we'll mount into that light fixture right there. So in other words, we'll still have the marker light, but we'll get our power from that marker light. So the lights will have to be on in order for the camera to work on the back. Pretty cool. So we're back here at the back of the van, and there's a third brake light right here. So we're going to tap into the power source below the third brake light. It's where the dome light is on the inside of the car, and it's got constant power. So we're going to tap into that. First thing we're going to do is notch out a little tiny notch, so we don't have to drill a hole in the metal. We're going to notch out a little piece of that third brake light, and if we break it, we can always order a new one, but I don't think we'll break it. And when we get done, we'll put some nice silicone around everything. That way it's all sealed off nicely. The next option would have been to drill a hole through and place a little rubber grommet, and each one of these comes with a rubber grommet. I'll show you up top here. So here's our camera, and we've got it pinched up underneath there. So basically what I want to do is take a tiny notch out of this, not interfering with the reflective material inside this brake light, and we'll silicone this up very nicely with some high quality silicone when we get done. We'll do a little notch right there. So for notching this light, we're basically going to go off the center line of the windows here on the van, and we're going to put ourselves a mark right on the center line right there, and that's where we're going to notch our little notch out. This should be interesting. You know, when I shave my head, my double chin shows a whole lot more. Lay out our little notch. And we're in there. Guys, I had what you might call a moment of clarity. Just now I thought to myself, I said, self, you know what? If you wire this camera to power, constant power all the time, it's gonna drain the battery on the truck. So we're gonna figure out a way, we're gonna wire it up to the backup light like it should be. And pretty much any backup camera system that you wire up to should be wired up to the backup light. So that's what we're going to do. So generally speaking, the lighter color wire will be the hot wire, and the not so light color wire will be the other wire. So we need to get in here and we need to engage the reverse light, and the light color wire should be our hot. So we're going to put the red to the light color wire and the black to the dark colored wire with the reverse light on, and we should get a positive voltage. If it's negative, then it's reversed. Pretty simple. I've decided to just run it right down through the upholstery and pop it right out through the hole where the light is. I've got my little tool here to pop off panels, and we'll pop them off and run the wire. Basically, the headliner's just held up by these little tabs, and this is the tool that you use to remove them. Pretty simple. So we got the truck all finished up. I'll show you the finished product there. It got dark on me, but we're up here on the back of the camper. We're gonna wire up to the marker light, and basically my mom will just have to have the lights on in order for the rear camera to work. There's no backup light here on the camper, so this is how we had to wire it. So I'm gonna remove one of these guys, one of these little markers, pull it out, splice into it the power. Basically all you have to do is put your red wire to the positive, your black wire to the negative, and you're done. And we're just going to use two of these little splicers. Pretty cool. Let's get busy. All right, folks, when mama's happy, everybody's happy. So let me show you the install here. So we got the camera mounted up, and basically we wired the positive to the positive, negative to the negative, and it just has two wires to wire it up. And when she turns the lights on, this camera comes on. Now let's walk up to the van and I'll show you. And we mounted this with some stainless self-tapping screws, and we put caulking around each screw. Let's go up to the van. This is a nice camper. Maybe one day we'll do a little video and we'll walk around this camper. It's pretty cool. I think the only regret that they might have with this camper is that they didn't get an onboard generator. So onboard generator is really important if you're going to be doing kind of off-grid or camping out in the woods kind of stuff. So let me show you the van. So here's the setup for the van, and basically our antenna's right here, and it's on there nice and secure. Everything's caulked into place. We ran the wire in through a little notch that I cut in the third brake light, and then the wiring is ran through the upholstery down through and engages with the reverse light. And that's a dog's butt. first we'll turn this guy on. And I have it set up, it's basically wired right into the cigarette lighter. So she can get it out of the way if she doesn't want that big old thing up there in the way on a long trip, or she can leave it up there. So here's Mom, and there's Mom right there on the camera. Now we'll put it in reverse, and this has a split screen, and it'll take up to 4 cameras, so it's really cool. Now we've thrown it in reverse, and now we can see our camper, and we can see Mom. There's several little adjustments you can do with this thing, and as simple as it was, we just wired the red to the hot and the black to the not, and that was it. All right, we'll put it in park. That shuts that camera off, and we'll turn the lights off, and that shuts that camera off. Tell you a little bit about this van. This is an 02 model E350 van with a 7.3 liter Power Stroke diesel in it. My parents bought an 02 and an 03 back in the day when you could get 0% financing on these vans, and this thing has just lasted and lasted and lasted. It's a monster of a van, and it pulls a heck of a camper right there. So Mom, what do you think about your Mother's Day gift?
I'm very happy with it.
It's a little bit late.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, come on down